Now, students, in this lecture, we are going to cover three-dimensional coordinate system. This is class 11, Maths Paper 1, Chapter 5th of the Telugu Academy. So, let us understand three-dimensional system. So far, we know two-dimensional, X and Y. Now, we are going to understand X, Y, Z, three-dimensional axis. Let us see. So, this is a class 12th, class 11th. This is class 11th. Say, let us say this is our room. Okay, this is our room. So, what is the location of this hanging lamp? So, if this is the origin, the corner point is the origin, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. This is z-axis. Though the point of light is x-axis, say from here to up to the wall, this distance, and y-axis from ground to this height center. Z-axis is along this wall up to a certain distance. So this point in the space is defined by three coordinates: x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate. If you see this window, this is defined by only two coordinates. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. This is what we know two-dimensional axis. So the window starts from x-axis, say 1 meter, it up to 3 meters, 2 meters. This is 1 meter, this is 2 meters, total 3 meters. So 1 meter to 3 meter, the window is spread over in the x-axis, and y-axis is spread over height, say 1 meter to 3 meters. So this is a xy plane, two-dimensional plane, but this is a three-dimensional plane. So to define this, we need three dimensions: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So most of our engineering problems are having three-dimensional system. Suppose rocket is going, it is to be identified in three dimension. Satellite is moving in a three dimension. Everything is in three dimension nowadays. Only our road map is in two dimension. Suppose we set a car from here, from Hyderabad to Vizag, that goes on a two-dimensional plane, x and y plane. But all other space things goes on a three-dimensional plane. So let us understand the concept behind this. So plane to three-dimensional, as certain objects like cone, sphere, cuboid, they spread over three dimensions. So instead of LB, we have now LBH, length, breadth, and height. In this case, what is the length? It's x-axis. Let us say the dimension of this is a cuboid or is a sphere, slightly elongated sphere. We have three dimensions, L, B, H. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. If we go depth, suppose if it is cellar, if my room is in the cellar, so y is negative. If my room is in the outside, this is z is negative. If is on the other side of this corner point, x is negative. So if we take this side as positive, up as positive, and z in front of as positive, then the opposite sides become automatically negative with respect to this reference origin. Just like x-axis, x minus x, we have x, y, z. Always remember x, y, z. When from x we move anti-clockwise direction, we get y. From y, if we move anti-clockwise direction, we get z. Again from z, anti-clockwise. So these are the, now what are the planes here? This is xy plane. This window is in xy plane. So that means this paper is in xy plane. This paper is in xy plane. Then what is yz plane? This is Y, this is Z. This wall is YZ plane. This wall is YZ plane. So YZ plane is perpendicular to my XY plane. So if this is XY plane, this window area, this is YZ plane, this is Y, this is Z, where X is 0. For this wall, what is X value? 0. So this is a YZ plane. For this, Z value is 0. This extension is 0. So this is XY plane. Similarly, for the floor, ZX, here Y is 0. For the floor, Y is 0. So that means this is ZX plane. All the three planes are perpendicular to each other. So all the three planes are mutually perpendicular. So this is the positive axis. This is standard nomenclature. A screw rotates in positive Z direction. If a screw rotates, this is a right-handed system. If a screw is rotates from X to Y, it advances in positive Z direction. So this is X to Y. I am rotating screw like this. So I am unwinding the screw. I am unwinding the screw. So the screw automatically comes out. So this is Z axis. If I rotate from Y to X, this is winding the screw. So it is going into the wall. So this is a right hand system. If I am unwinding, this is going to, that means what? If X to Y is anti-clockwise, my Z is positive. If Y to Z is anti-clockwise, X is positive, like that. So similarly, a screw rotates from Y to Z, from Z to X, it advances in X and Y axis. If I rotate like this anti-clockwise, it is advancing. Screw will come out. If we rotate from Z to X, it will come out in Y axis. So if you say this is a wall, this is a wall. I am tightening a screw here. So I have to tighten like this. Nail to go inside, screw to go inside. So this is a clockwise direction. Clockwise direction means minus. So minus Z axis. It goes into the wall. So this is minus Z axis. Anti-clockwise is the standard nomenclature is anti-clockwise positive and clockwise negative. If we rotate this, is taken as positive Z. If we rotate anti-clockwise, positive. If we rotate anti-clockwise, positive. If we rotate clockwise, all are negative. So this is a standard logic. Let us see, there is a cube here. What are the coordinates of P? P is a distance of x-axis is A, y-axis is A, z-axis is A. If it is a cube. If it is not, if it is some other point, we have A, B, C. This is A, this is B, this is C. So as distance along x is A, first always we represent x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So A, all are positive. That means x, y is positive, z is positive. It is here. X is positive, y is positive, z is positive. So this ball is all are positive. A, B, C. Along y-axis, a distance along x-axis is A, y is B, z is C. So point xy coordinate in sequence. In a plane, we represent first x and then y coordinate. Similarly, in a three-dimensional system, we represent x, y, z. The first one represents distance in x. Second one represents distance in y. Third one, distance in z. So for every 3 points A, represented by a triad x, y, z. Suppose if it is z is negative, that means what? Xy is positive, z is negative. That means this ball is outside the window. X is positive, y is positive, z is negative, outside the window. If y is negative, it is in the cell arm, like that. So we can view entire space. Let us see what are the parallel lines and perpendicular lines in this cuboid system. We know DP, CE, AE, AF, OB. These are all parallel lines. So OA, OA, BF, PE, and CD. They are all parallel lines. Again, second set of parallel lines, AD, AD, FP, BE and OC. They are also parallel lines. Now what is perpendicular lines? OA, OB, OC. The three are mutually perpendicular lines. Similarly, let us see the other set of perpendicular lines. CD, CE, CO. CD, CE, CO or CZ. They are also perpendicular. Similarly, B from C. BE, BF and BY are perpendicular. Also, let us see OB and PB. This is OB. This is PB. What is the angle between them? Along P, this whole circle is perpendicular. BE is perpendicular, BF is perpendicular. The whole circle plane is perpendicular to axis OY. So that means what? This is perpendicular. PB is perpendicular to OB. This is not angle, this is perpendicular. Because the entire plane is perpendicular. Entire plane is, what is the plane? BE, BP, BF, it goes like that. So whatever in this plane is perpendicular to O. Let us see the other side. OF. This is OF. And this is FP. They are perpendicular. OF is on the floor. PF is vertically up. If you see here, OF is from here to floor, on the floor. PF is vertical. They are also perpendicular. Here perpendicular. So from seeing pictures, we should be able to identify what are the parallel and perpendicular lines to each other. Okay. Suppose if there is a ring here, there is a ring. So whatever line emerging from ring in this direction is perpendicular. Any direction is perpendicular. This is a plane, perpendicular. So now let us see. The coordinates of points can be origin. Now what is coordinate of A? A is x is 0, y is 0. There is only z here. So 0, 0, x. 1 minute. So if this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. So here terms as this as x-axis. So x is a, y and z are 0. Normally this will be x-axis, but it can be rotated in any form. So you take an example of x, y, z. Because from anti-clockwise we get y, from anti-clockwise we get z, anti-clockwise we get x. So there is no orientation mistake here, but you can choose any axis as per convenience. Normally vertical axis is y. Okay. Now what is the coordinate of B? Coordinate of B is, we have y-axis is x and y, z are 0. So 0, y, 0. 0, y, 0. What is the coordinate of E? E, you have y, you have x, and z is 0. This is x-axis, x is 0. So 0, y, z. 0, y, z. What is x of P? P is x, y, z. All the readings are there. So this way we have to identify the three-dimensional coordinates. This is a perpendicular. PE is perpendicular to YZ. Let us see. Where is P? PE is perpendicular to YZ. This is YZ plane. This is YZ. YZ. This is a perpendicular. That means P at a distance of x from YZ plane. This is nothing but distance of x. Perpendicular distance. This is a perpendicular distance. It's a perpendicular distance from the other plane. So PF. This is a perpendicular distance to the plane of xy. PD is a perpendicular distance to the plane of xz. So these are the perpendicular distances. Coordinates are nothing but perpendicular distances to the plane. Now what is the distance? Now I want the distance of OP. OP square can be written as OF square plus FP square. This is a, if you take this as a right angle triangle, OF square plus FP square. But what is OF? OF is again a right angle triangle, OAF. So OA square plus OF square is OF square, AF square. OF square is equal to OA square plus AF square. So total OP distance becoming OA square plus AF square plus FP square. Remains x square plus y square plus z square. So what is the reading of OP? Under root of x square plus y square plus z square. What is x? Distance along x-axis. What is y? Distance along y-axis. What is z? Distance along z-axis. So the distance, the point from the origin is square root of x square plus y square plus z. This is the modulus. This is the distance. This is the modulus from here to P. Nothing but all the three coordinates square. So this is x is I coordinate, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So we convert this into a generalized formula. What is the distance from 0, 0, 0 to xyz? X2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square, z2 minus z1 whole square under root. Because finally what we are squaring? We are squaring what is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, z-axis. We are adding all the three different readings between point O and P, or point any 2 points. Okay. Now, suppose I want to translate this axis to new axis, x1, y1, z2. So with original axis, the reading are x, y, z. With the new axis, what are the readings? So already this origin is x1. So it has moved to x1. So this distance is x minus x1. X minus x1. The distance is y minus y1. This z is z minus z1. So the new, with respect to new axis, the point P is x minus x1, y minus y1, and z minus z1. These are the points with respect to x dash, y dash, z dash axis. So here we have shifted axis from 0, 0, 0 to x1, y1, z1. So now we know what is the distance between this new origin and this minus this whole square. So this point is x minus x1, and this point will be taken as 0 for this reference. So x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square plus z minus z1 whole square. So that means what? Distance between the new axis O dash to the P is x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square plus z minus z1 whole square under root. Okay. So this way we can understand distance between 2 points. What is distance between 2 points? The x coordinate square plus y coordinate square plus z coordinate square. So between 2 points x1, y1, x2, y2 is x2 minus x1 whole square. This is x coordinate of the points between the 2 points. With reference to 1 point, the second point is at a distance of x2 minus x1. This is what we have done here. What the translation of axis means? Instead of origin is shifted to first point, x1, y1, z1 point. So the distance between x minus x1, so x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square, plus z2 minus z1 whole square under root. So let us example. There are 2 points, 3, 4, minus 2, 1, 0, 7. What is the distance between PQ? So 1 minus 3 is 2 whole square, 0 minus 4 is 4 square, 7 plus 2 is 9 square. So it becomes 1620, 101 under root. Show that these 3 points form isosceles triangle. Right angle isosceles triangle. So we have to find out the distances. What is the right angle? Means AB square is equal to AB square plus BC square. What is an isosceles? Two sides are equal. AB and BC are equal. So let us see. What is AB here? 2 plus 1, 3 square. 3 minus y, 2 square. 5 plus 1, 6 square. So root of 49, 7. What is distance BC? 4 plus 1 5 square, minus 3 minus 5 8 square, 2 plus 1 3 square. This is 7 root 2. What is distance AC? 4 minus 2 2 square 4, minus 3 6 square 36, 2 minus 5, that is my 3. 3 square is 9. So this is root 7. Here we can see AB is equal to AC and BC square is equal to AB square plus AC square. That means a right angle isosceles triangles. What we have done, we have calculated distance between 2 points. Now let us see the division of line segment in 3D space. In 2D space, we know internally if I want to divide m is to n ratio, this is a P point. This is external division. Internally, if I divide mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. This we know in a 2 dimension. This point is dividing externally. So this is automatically mx2 minus nx1. So this is dividing externally. This point P is dividing AB externally in the ratio of m is to n. This is the formula. If internally, plus will come. So similarly for a 3-dimensional. So let us take point at 3-dimensional. P is a 3-dimensional in 3 axes. We have x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Q is a 3-dimensional. So let P be x1, y1, z1. Q be x2, y2, z2. And or x, y, z. So now if I draw a perpendicular to the xy plane, I'm drawing a perpendicular to the xy plane. The PL is a perpendicular to xy plane, or N is a perpendicular to xy plane. QM is a perpendicular. So now LA, NC, MB are perpendicular to x-axis. Perpendicular to x-axis. So AC by CB is equal to LN by NM. Because we know these two are parallel lines. AL, CN, BM are parallel to y-axis. That means what? This divides equal ratios. These parallel lines divides in equal ratios. So AC by CB is equal to LN by NM. So what is AC? AC is nothing but x minus x1. What is CB? CB is x2 minus x1. So x minus x1 by x2 minus x. This is x2 minus x because the point R is the distance of x in the x-axis. Point P is x1, point Q is x2. So we are finding out first against x-axis, the ratio. So x2 minus x by x minus x1 or is equal to m is to n. I want to divide in the ratio of this is m is to n. Ln by nm, I want ln by nm as m is to n. Ln by nm is m is to n. This point R is dividing PQ into m is to n ratio. So when I simplify this, what I am getting x value mx2 plus nx1 by m plus. Similarly, for if I drop perpendiculars to yz plane, if I draw perpendiculars to zx plane, I'll get the others also. They are same in my 2-dimensional system. 3-dimensional, I'm converting to, by dropping perpendiculars, we are converting to 2-dimensional system. In two dimensions, we know this formula. The parallel lines divide equally, equal ratio. So ln by nm is equal to AC by CB. ln by nm is m is to n. This point R is dividing into m is to n. So we got a x is equal to mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. Similarly, y is equal to my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. Z is equal to mz2 plus nz1 by m plus n. Suppose if m is n, it is a midpoint. I want a midpoint. So what will become here? M get cancelled, 2 will come. So x1 plus x2 by 2. y1 plus y2 by 2. z1 plus z2 by 2. This is the midpoint of P and Q. Maybe R dash. Here it is R dash, which is midpoint of P and Q. So whatever two dimension, we are extending to three dimension. Whatever formula applies for two dimensional coordinates applies for Z coordinate also. Okay. Let us say I want to find out a triangle in centroid in a three-dimensional system. So what is the D is midpoint of B and C. B and C midpoint. So we know x2 plus x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2, z2 plus z3 by 2 is the point D. So when I say typical means it applies to y and z also. Same. So x2 plus 3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2, z2 plus z3 by 2. Now we know the centroid point is at ratio of 2:1. Centroid divides A and D by 2:1. So if I put the 2 into D plus 1 into A by 2 plus 1. So 2 into D point of x coordinate is x2 plus x3 by 2 plus 1 into A point is x1 by 2 plus 1. So m into x2 plus n into x1 by m plus n. So here 2 getting cancelled. This becomes x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. So again typical means same thing for y also. Same thing. Suppose if I put 2:1, y is also y1 plus y2 plus y3. What is the y axis here? Center point of y is y2 plus y3 by 2. Here y1. So 1 into y1 plus 2 into y2 plus y3 by 2 by 3. So 2 get cancelled. Same. So how you find out a centroid of a triangle? We simply add all the three coordinates divided by 3. Sigma y by 3, sigma z by 3, sigma x by 3 is the centroid. Let us see for a tetrahedron. What is a tetrahedron? We have a triangle here and we have a height here. This is the height. It is like a diamond. But with base, diamond is having both sides tetrahedron. But here base is a triangle and there is a height here. So we know centroid of base is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3, and z1 plus z2 plus z3 by 3, the centroid of the bottom triangle. So we know for a tetrahedron, the CG, center of tetrahedron, divides A and S in a ratio of 3:1. This is 3, this is 1, 3:1. So 3 into x1 plus x2 x3 by 3 plus 1 into x4 by 4. So 3 getting cancelled. Similarly as 2 is getting cancelled here. Here 3 getting cancelled because it's 3:1. Here it is 2:1. So we'll get sigma x by 4, sigma y by 4, sigma z by 4. Okay, there is a CG. You have to write z also here. ZCG is sigma center of gravity is Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 plus Z4 because there are 4 points A, B, C, D vertices divided by, or we can say sigma z okay. Let us see the problems of section 5b. Ratio in which xz plane divides 2 points. Ratio in which xz plane divides 2 points. Let the ratio be r is to 1. Let the ratio be. In fact, p is to q. I bring q also here. P by q as r. R is to 1. To make my variable simple. If I put p is to q, m is to n, they have two variables here. Instead of that, I am putting m by n here. M by n is to 1. P by q is to 1. So it make into one variable. So xz plane. What do you mean by xz plane? Xz plane means y is 0. Xz plane means y is 0. So what is the y coordinate? R into 2, 2r plus 3 divided by r plus 1. This is the y coordinate. R is to 1. So this is 0. So 2r plus 3 is equal to 0. R is minus 3 by 2. That means minus 3 is to 2 is the ratio. So we can find out y is 0. So using minus 3 is to 2, I can find out x and z coordinates. Minus 3 into 1, minus 3, plus 2 into minus 2, minus 4. So this is minus 7, plus 7. Similarly, 0, this is 1. Minus 3 into 3, minus 9, plus 2 into 8. So minus 1. So minus 1 is 0. If I change the signature here, 7, 0, 1. The coordinates. Here we are using R value to find out x and z coordinates. But y coordinate is 0 because he said it is xz plane is dividing. That means y coordinate is 0. Let us see. 3 points are there. Centroid is given of a tetrahedron. What is the fourth vertex? We know sigma x by 4 is centroid. So 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus x by 4 is equal to 4. So I got x is 3. Similarly, y coordinate 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus y by 4 is equal to 2. Total by 4. So here I got y coordinate. Similarly, I get z. So the fourth vertex is 3, 3, 3. So this is the fourth vertex. Out of these 4, anything can be asked. Now, collinearity. I have to prove A, B, C are collinear. Let us point a P divides AC in k:1 ratio. Let a point P divides AC in k:1 ratio. So what is the point P? 8k plus 5 by k plus 1 minus 2k plus 4 by k plus 1 minus 7k plus 2 by k plus 1. For k is half, the point is coinciding with B. Suppose if I put a half, 8 by 2 is 4. 4 plus 5, 9 by 3 by 2. So it will become 6.6. This is become 0.2. This is become minus 1. Let us say put k is half here. 7 into 1 by 2. So 2 2s are 4. Minus 7 plus 4 is minus 3. Here 1 plus 2 is 3. Minus 3 by 3 getting cancelled minus 1. So this way we can find out. What is another way? Same can be proven by distance also. I will prove AB square plus BC square, AC square. I can prove that they are AB is equal to AB, BC plus AB. Is a straight line. Both way. Here we have proved in a ratio way. We have given 4 points A, B, C, D. Show that lines AB and CD are intersecting. AB and CD are intersecting. So let us assume that intersecting point BP divides AB in k:1 ratio. So what is that P? 2k plus 4 by k plus 1 is x coordinate. 4k plus 8 by k plus 1 is y coordinate. 6k plus 12 by k plus 1 is third coordinate. K:1 ratio. Let us say the same point, let us assume some other point, P dash, is dividing CD in P:1 ratio. It need not be K:1, it can be P:1, can be any other ratio. So 5P plus 3 by P plus 1. So if these 2 points are to be same, that means they should be equal. They should be equal. X coordinate is equal, Y coordinate is equal, Z coordinate is equal. So when I do equate, so 2k plus 4 by k plus 1 is equal to 5p plus 3 by p plus 1. So I'm getting an equation. Similarly, for y coordinate, if I'm making it 4k plus 8 by k plus 1 is equal to 8p plus 5 by p plus 1. When I simplify, I got a coordinate. Again, I got a coordinate. When I solve these three equations, I'm getting k as minus 3, p as minus 1 by 2. And when I substitute, I'm getting p divides AB in minus 3:1 and the same divides CD in minus 1 to 2. That means this point is in the intersecting point of AB and CD. The point is, you substitute P minus 1 by 2 here. If I put P minus 1 by 2 or K minus 3, I'll put K minus 3. So minus 6 plus 4 is minus 2 by minus 2, that is 1. So similarly, I get my minus 3 minus 12 plus 8 is minus 4 by minus 2, that is 2. 3. So all the points I can either use P here, I can use K, because I have equated X, Y, Z, both sides. Or we can use some other method also. X minus X1 by X2 minus X1 is equal to Y minus Y1 by Y2 minus Y1 is equal to Z minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 is equal to K. This is constant. This also can be used. Let us use this and find out. Next example, we are using second method. Find the point of intersection of ABCD, A given, B given, C given, D given. So we are using second method. X, let the equation of line with X, Y, Z on AB. AB, suppose there is a point X in between. So what is the equation of line X, Y, Z? X minus X1 by X2 minus X1 is equal to Y minus Y1 by Y2 minus Y1 is equal to Z minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1. So X2 minus X1 is 17 minus 7, 10. Y2 minus Y1 is minus 18 plus 6 is minus 12. Z2 minus Z1 is minus 3 minus 1 minus 4. So this is the equation. Let it be equal to K. Similarly on CD, let it be equal to K1 equation. So this is a line CD equation. This is the slope along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. These are the slopes. So when these two K and K1, when I'm equating x here and equating y here, I'll get K, K1 two equations. So when I solve them, what I'm getting here, K is half or minus half. So when I substitute K half or minus half, suppose I'm substituting K half here. So 10 into half, 5. Minus half. K is minus half, so minus half. 10 into minus half, minus 5. Minus 7 comes here, plus 7. Minus 5 plus 7 is plus 2. 203. This is the point which is divided. So this is a simpler method. This is a simpler method. If we know, if we write the equations of the lines. Otherwise, we know earlier method. This we have seen here. K:1 ratio. So if I put K:1 ratio, AB, some point divides AB in K:1 ratio, I am getting equation. All the 3 points. If I put K dash is to 1, the other point should Q is to 1 on CD. So I am getting 3 points on CD. these three we are equating. When we are equating both x, y, z coordinates of both the points, because the point is assumed to be same, so I got an equation. So when I solve this, I'm getting q is 1. So you substitute q in this. You substitute q is 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 4 by 2. That means 2, 0, 3. So same answer will come. This is slightly cumbersome process where you have to solve a bigger equations. Here it is easy process. So let us understand the equation of a line is, suppose the line AB is there. Line AB is there. So it's a three-dimensional line. Now I am putting any point on this. So what is the equation of line? X minus x1 by x2 minus x1 is equal to y minus y1 by y2 minus y1 is equal to z minus z1 by z2 minus z1 is a constant. Okay. So by comparing these equations, we are getting this k and k1 value. So when you substitute k value here, we get x, we get y, we get z. Let us say another example. ABC are vertices of a triangle. AD is a bisector of angle BAC, which meets at D. BC at D. Find coordinates of D. ABC are given. Now, what is the distance of AB? Distance of AB. AB is 3 minus 5 2 square plus 2 minus 3 1 square plus 2 square. 3 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. 2 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. 4 plus 4 8 plus 1 9. Under root of 9 is 3. So similarly BC is 13. So what we know, this is a bisector. This is a bisector. That means the point D divides BC in the ratio of AB is to AC. Bisector of AD divides BC in the ratio of AB is to AC. That is 3 is to 13. So we find out the point D from B and C is the ratio of 3 is to 13. This 3 is to 13 we got from this equation, distances. Let us see here. We draw a triangle here. And let this be bisector of this angle bisector. Okay. Now, this point is D. D divides B and C in a ratio equal to AB is to AC. AB is to AC. Let this be A. B. D. So we know these angles are same. This angle is same means this is when the angle are same, that means dividing AB is to AC and BD is to BC. What is tan theta? Suppose this is not 90 degree, but this angle is dividing equally. So BD is to DC is equal to AB is to AC. So I need a 3 is to 13 ratio, the point D on BC. So 13 into C coordinate, 5 plus 3 into B coordinate, minus 9, C coordinate, BC. B is this, C is this. 13 is to 3 is to 13. 3 is to 13. So 3 is to 13. 13 into B coordinate plus 3 into C coordinate. So by 13 plus 3 is 16. So we got this the answer. Now again, we have to prove, see another problem. We have to prove collinearity. We have seen earlier, we have seen by how we have proved collinearity here. AC ratio, and we found for this is satisfying with coinciding with point B. Now we are going for distances. AB square is 22, BC square is 88, AC square is 22. So BC square is equal to AB square plus AC square plus 2 ABs. So AB plus AC whole square. So BC is equal to AB plus AC. That means they are collinear. If it is a triangle, it has to be more than this. It has to be less than this. BC should be less than AB plus AC. Since this is not a triangle, it is a collinear, they are equal. Or we can do another point. What is the midpoint of BC? 2 minus 2, 0. What is the midpoint of C? 3 y coordinate? 3 minus 3, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. So all three coordinates. So basically this is a midpoint. A is the midpoint of BC. So they are collinear. So we can find out the ratios also. So midpoint means B, A is dividing BC into 1:1 ratio. Okay. With this, we conclude the coordinates chapter. Then further we'll review the direction, cosines, directions, the vector, three-dimensional vector system. We'll review in the next session.